Hello YouTube and welcome back to another Max Pounder Battle Reports. This time I'm finally bringing you my Undying Dynasties, or as I call them, the Obsidian Legion, and we're playing against a Sylvan Elves army today. So very quickly I'll get into the list of what I'm running since it's the first time I'm running them. So for the core choices I've gone shooting heavy, so I've got 6 chariots full command with light troops. I've got 2 units of 5 horse archers for chaff. And then I've got 10 archers with a banner, and then 22 archers full command. For my special choices, I've got 2 war sphinxes, both with 5e breath upgrade. I find the 4+ innate defense is a bit too costly for its points. Then I've got 3 cataphract riders with underground ambush and a banner musician. 3 sexy stalkers, underground ambush, and a champ. Then I've got 2 skull catapults and a casket of Tep. And then for my heroes, I've got a Tomb King on Royal Sphinx, and he's got 3 up armor, 4 up regen, 2 up against flaming, the divine icon, and a great weapon. And then I've also got a level 4 on Sands, who's a Hierophant, and he's running the Book of Awesome Power. I can't remember, it's Time of Arcane Law or whatever, but it's +1 to cast, +1 to dispel. So just run through my opponent's list quickly at the top before we go through my deployment. So on the left hand side he's got 5 Sentinels, then he's got 13 Blade Guard with banner and black arrows. Then he's got a big block of 9 Tree King with the I can't remember what he's called, but basically the special character in there as well. So that's the massive fighting extra rank, strength 5 upgrade, Death Star that a lot of people have been running for Sylvan Elves. Really fighty. Don't know how I'm going to handle with it this game. Even all 3 Sphinxes going in are just going to it's just going to be a long drawn out affair, and it allows him to get other stuff into the fight. So I don't know how I'm going to deal with that this game. He's got 8 Dryad scouting, he's got 5 more Sentinels, then 13 more archers. Then he's got a eagle, and then he's also got, if you can see, the tree man is a avatar of nature. Then he's got 8 more dryads with a matriarch in there who's a level 2 on life. White magic, sorry. And then he's also got 10 blade dancers and 3 kestrel knights, which are hiding behind that building in the middle. So I win the drop off to go first, and I'm just going to drop everything. Now my initial idea was to castle in the corner because I outrange him, and I've got 3 very tough to remove units, and obviously with the 3 units of ambushing, the 2 units of ambushing things, I can pop up to threaten the more squishier parts of his army. But the reason I didn't do that is because it's too easy for him to just shove that big block down my throat, and there's only so much points I can feed to it before he just starts to get through everything. And of course you can think, well, you can get all 3 Sphinxes in and you'll do some damage. Well, yeah, but he'll be stubborn 9 rerollable, because it's very unlikely that I'll kill his character because he has the reroll hits and challenges, and he's just hard to get rid of. And that allows the faster movements of his elements of his army to overwhelm my weaker bits. So that's how I deploy, because I know I'm going to get first turn. So fairly standard, very defensive. So on the left hand side, that's what it looks. So he scouted up his sentinels behind that rocky thing. If you're wondering why the stalkers are there, it's because so I don't forget them about the ambush. And up here, he's vanguarded his kestrel knights very aggressively. Now this is a great move because they're fly 9. They can actually charge my bunkers now, which means he's straight into my back line. So this was a mistake on my part. All I needed to do was angle my Sphinxes, but because I thought I was getting first turn, I was like, well, he's not going to, there's no need for me to make first turn charges. So it's a very good move because you'll see now that it'll force me to play defensive for my first move rather than playing aggressively. So movement is very simply like so. I move those chariots really quickly over to get some pot shots at the archers. Same with my horse cav. Horsecav stays in the wood because I know he wants to shoot at it, so I'd rather have him have the negative modifiers. And then I just angle the cat so that he can't charge and he can't fly anywhere without getting charged, because they're going to be very annoying and very good against my war machines and stuff. So in my magic phase, I think I get 8 power dice. So I throw out maybe. I think all I'm looking here to is just get divine judgments off. So also very quickly, the spells that we got, his level 2, he's got 2 tree swinging spells, and he's also got a healing spell and the regen spell. And I got shifting sands, divine judgment twice because of casket, the movement spell, and then deadly desiccation, which is the -1 strength and toughness as well. So I get divine judgment off, and it blows up 2 of these, which is fantastic. Then he remembers he's got a gleaming icon, so he re-rolls it and he'll come back. I believe I get another divine judgment off on them, and it does nothing, and then magic is just wasted. I think I try fireball as well, which he stops. And then all my shooting misses or is out of range, so his start of his turn 1. So he's going to move up his big block of trees really aggressively, which is the right idea to do. He moves up his eagle behind the impassable because he's going to fly out when he needs it to. He moves his blade dancers into the forest because, again, he can move the forest with tree spinning, and also they're going to be stubborn in there. He moves up his avatar of nature. We're not too sure who has the fight between my general and him, but he hits and wounds me easier, but I've got the Fort Ward, whereas I don't hit him as much, but I have a divine icon, so it's a bit of a 50-50. I think neither of us really want to commit to it, because whoever loses that loses their general and a big hungry chest of points. So other movement, everything else just moves up, quite simply to take some shots at some stuff. So magic does nothing because he casts regen, don't care about it, and he casts reheal or he casts tree singing, and I don't care about it either. So going on to shoot, and he pops 2 of these skeleton cav off here. Then he pops off 4 here. So this is where I make a mistake. See, I should have just kept those hidden because I've only got basically 2 units of chaff, and I'll need those to chaff up those big block of trees because I can't fight it at this moment of time, and he's not going to let me get a combo charge off on it. So yeah, I mean, 1 can still be used as chaff, but he's out of the way now. So shooting from something else does another wound here. So there's 2 left, which is fantastic because now I can block his big unit. So this is my turn 2. So I make a charge here. So I charge his eagle out the way and he flees. And then I redirect into the blade dancers. Because I think I'll have... They've got a lot of attacks, but with the thunderstomps and everything like that, they can only do the 3 at war dance for so long. So I think I'll grind this out. I think I need a 9, but I fail it anyway, so he just moves up. So in other movement, I now don't want those... I want those blade dancers out of the way, so I'm actually just going to march up my second sphinx and just refire on them to remove them out of the game. I move my general over like so because he's safe there. And I don't really... I'm still a bit iffy about that charge from the tree father agent. And also I've got my stalkers popped up, and I think they'll do a number on him. And also I've still got 2 catapults and divine judgments to deal with him. So the chariots move back because I'm going to need them over here. Archers just shuffle around. My wizard pops from the 22-man bunker into the 10-man bunker. And that's really it. So yeah, it landed. The marker landed really dodgily for these cataphracts, but I really want them to get into those archers just because they're easy points basically, and then I'm straight into his back line. So that's how they pop up like so. You can see that the stalkers are popped up like so, just to pepper the tree avatar of nature because he's only initiative 3. So magic, I think he just stops all the divine judgments that I tried to get off, and I managed to get off just the movement spell for the Sphinx that's failed the charge, so he's out of the line of sight of the tree father. or the Avatar of Nature, and then I get a Ruby Ring off, which does 1 wound. So in shooting, yeah, so these Stalkers are so disappointing. So they're hitting on 3s and 2s, because they're BS skill 5 and they're in short range, so it's just multi-shot. And the chance of it hitting on 2s, and they only hit like 10 times, but that's fine, because they're wounding on 5s, and then he's only got 5 at ward, and I just don't even wound anything at all. So just really bad rolling, basically, because I thought they'd absolutely, do 3-4 wounds to him, which neuters him somewhat. So that was very disappointing. Because usually the Stalkers do really well. Against every time I've used them, they've done really well. However, at least a catapult hits him, he fails his ward, and it does 4 wounds, so that's quite good. Yeah, so here, Fiery Breath, boom, does 7 wounds, and that unit's out of the game now. So I'll get half points for them, but he's just going to, run them away. But that's good for me because it frees up my movement on this side of the board. So some archers pick off some archers here, and they do 3 wounds, not enough to cause a panic. And so that brings us on to Sylvan Elves turn 2. So he's going to charge both his Dryads. Well, first he's going to get rid of those skeleton calves, so he's charging there. And he's going to charge both his Dryads and his Kestrel Knights into the Stalkers to get rid of them, because obviously if they get another turn of shooting, they will kill the Avatar of Nature. So they all get in like so. And then in normal movement, he moves his Tree Foundation over here because he likes his chances against 1 Sphinx, and also it's the only thing in his army that is wounding it on 5s, and also he can move. He's moved his matriarch back, but he's moved him in range for the healing spells and stuff. So that's why I'll be looking to stop this magic phase, and obviously move those Blade Dancers out just to conserve the points completely. So I think that's just a picture of the Eagle Rallier. So the Eagle Rally. So shooting here does 3 wounds. He just shoots everything at them because he wants to try and reduce them down to basically 1 model, and which gives them a better fighting chance when they charge his archers next turn. But even with all that shooting, only does 1 wound. I think it's Ant from the. It's not the Sustainable Centre anymore, from HR. He always belates how useless ballistic steel shooting is for Wood Elves now. I don't quite agree with him, but I do agree with him to some extent that it is costly and it doesn't really seem to do much just because they don't seem to have a volume of shots. I just think they're best for picking off chaff and picking off wounds off things, but for actually whittling things down, it's better to go combat heavy now with Sylvan Elves, I think. Yeah, so shooting here manages to pick off that last one, which is, it is what it is. And actually shooting here managed to do a wound to my general, so that's fine, I can heal it back, but it's pretty annoying. And in combat, predictably, he kills here. So the magic phase, mostly his magic phases, so he's got 4 spells. He's got the healing spell, he's got the 5 at regen, and he's got 2 tree swingers. Now the tree swingers I'm never really bothered about, so I just let those through. And really, the only thing I've got to stop is the healing spell. So I just always throw all my dice at those, or the vast majority of my dice at those, to stop that 1 spell. I mean, if he gets 5 at regen or something, it's fine. So predictably, those cav are killed, and he also completely kills those stalkers, which is fair enough. Those Kestrel Knights aren't too bad on the charge, and also with all like the flank charge, rear charge, and the attacks from all the Dryads, it just melts them. So Undying Dynasties 3. Now, this is where it becomes... So, my general had a 9-inch charge with Swift Stride into the Dryads. And if he gets into the Dryads, it means he can smash those and move into the Kestrel Knights. Fantastic. But if he fails it, it's a flank charge from the big unit of trees. So... I also charged him with chariots. The reason I charged him with chariots because it was an easy charge for them, and I thought if the general fails but the chariots get in, then it means that he can't get me next turn if the chariots hold. But this is the very key thing here: is I was very scared of that unit, and I should have realised that actually 6 chariots are just not going to hold up to him. So basically, he's just going to kill those chariots and get free reform anyway. So it would have been better just to the thing is, if march from that general, so what I should have done, sorry, is made the charge with the general, and if he fails it, just move the chariots up and then use the movement spell to move them up even more, because that gives him basically not four spells, but three spells he's got to try and dispel, because he's either got to then let some divine judgments through, or he's got to stop that movement spell. So it's going to make it very tricky for him. And plus, with the +3 to cast, it's so good for these magic phases. So this, you'll see later how this impacts the game. That will be my biggest mistake. In other movement, I moved both Sphinxes out of vision of the Avatar of Nature, because he's got a wound back now, so he's got 3 wounds now. So he'd probably have the fight, to be honest, because he's hitting on 3s, wounding on 5s, and then I find it going to be hard to kill him unless I get like the +1 attack spell off or something like that. So I move a Sphinx around here because I think I'm gonna need it over here more. So there's my chariots getting here and killing one of them from dangerous range. General gets in, which is good because I should kill those Dryads easily over into the Kestrel Knights, and then again I'm straight in his back rank, and he's not really got... To be honest, I don't mind if people get my back lines, because there's not actually, apart from the wizard, there's not actually that much points in there, so it's really the other things that do the damage here. So magic here, so I get the +1 attack spell on my general because he took a wound from a dangerous terrain from going in water. So he's back to 4 wounds. And then also heal back the chariots because I want the strength 5 impact hits. So pretty good. Having 2 divine judgments is great, especially when people got big monsters, because they always have to go, well, I need to stop it, sort of thing. So yep, so the impact hits do 1 wound. And then he's going before me, so this is what happens, is that he just kills them. Just 27 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s, no save because he's strength 5 armor piercing, and he just completely wipes them out. That unit is brutal. It's very hard to deal with. Well, you can deal with it. It's the 5 at war that make them so resilient, so you've either got to ignore them or tie them up, but as you can see, one fault of this list, it's only got 2 units of chaff. It needs a 3rd, really. So basically, this is why it's such a big mistake at this point in this game, is I've given him a free reform. Because if I'd managed to chaff him up instead, he's got another turn of having to come, so frustrating. My mistake, though. Yeah, so this was frustrating. So he decides to challenge out with his champ. It's a good idea. So I stomp the champ into the ground for 4, and with the charge that makes 5. So I think he's on leadership 4, and he sticks, and that's frustrating, because at least I would have got the points for the Dryads and the thing, and then my general's right in his back line. It was going to be so good, but yeah, no, it wasn't to be. So this moves on to Sylvan Elves turn 3, and predictably he's going to make a few charges here. So both his the Dryads are stuck in, so he sends those trees into my general. He flies the Kestrel Knights over to now threaten the bunkers, and he flies the eagle over to threaten the bunkers, because the eagle will probably kill my Hierophant. I know I've never run wards and Hierophants. Oh yeah, on my turn, I just missed it. I must have charged those cataphracts in, if anyone was wondering. Didn't kill enough to break steadfast though, so that's why they're still fighting there. And in other movement, he just swifts, sort of moves his Dryads around, and his Sentinels just so they can shoot the Sphinx, and also he's moved his Avatar back round to help out against those cataphracts. So magic, yeah, so he does the same thing again, tries to heal his Avatar of Nature, so I stop it, because that's, he's down to 3 wounds, I can still most likely kill him. So he throws a tree singing up on here on 1 dice, and I'm like, oh yeah, sure, whatever, that's fine. So he does 6 hits and then rolls 3 6s. So he does 3 wounds to this Sphinx, which is incredibly frustrating, because now I'm very iffy about sending him into fights now, so because otherwise I probably would have charged the possibly would have charged his Avatar of Nature in the back, but definitely not now. Yeah, so shooting does 1 wound here off this one as well. So in combat, so everything's going before me. So I challenge, and then he refuses. So his BSB goes to the back. The Dryads managed to put 2 wounds through, and then all those attacks just kill him. To be fair, he actually only wounded maybe 4 times, and I just rolled really bad for my regen. But on average, I think he dies anyway. With lucky regen rolls, I might have done better on another day, but anyway. So he's just going to reform like so. He's not going to overrun. On the good side, the cataphracts finally just kill those to the man, so they can do that. And now that I'm going to reform them to face those dryads to kill those, because they're worth more points. And also, I'm not too confident about sending them in with the matriarch there, because they're all going before them, and she'll probably kill. I've only got 1-on-1 wounds, so he'll probably die before he can attack. Right, so this turn. So things aren't looking so good now that I've just lost my general. So the first thing I do is I charge those Kestrel Knights to get them out of the way. So he flees because he can always just rally and move on that turn. So what I do here is I redirect into the Dryads, because the thinking here is that when I hit those Dryads, I can overrun. It's only like a 5-inch overrun to get out. Well, I think 6. So anything above a 5 to get out of the arc of sight of the big treekin, which is fine. And also, because my general's dead, I haven't got my big march bubble, which means the Sphinxes are so slow now. So I also charge the cataphracts in, because they can hit the flank and then overrun. And if both get in, it's pretty easy to charge both. That also means that Sphinx is in the back line and can start, conserving those points and also threatening his matriarch bunker. So they both get in, which is nice. Yeah, and I don't think much happens in Magic. We'll see. Next slide. Oh, so yeah, I heal a wound back by giving this guy extra attack. That's it. Yep, that's an extra. Combat, I think I just wipe them out, the man, probably. With the thunderstomps and everything. Oh no, sorry, magic. Well, shooting or magic or something kills this eagle. I think it might have been a catapult actually. They've been okay this game. Yeah, in combat, yeah, completely wiped out to man. And then of course I don't move forward. I think I roll a 5 or a 4 to overrun, so they're still in line of sight. So Sylvan Elves turn 4. So he doesn't actually have that much movement. He's happy with his archers sitting back. His Kestrels rally, and then we're going to come threaten war machines now. He moves, obviously, his big block forward to threaten everything else as well. So he didn't... Right, so he charges his Avatar of Nature into the side of my Sphinx, because he's tired of having to stop Divine Judgments, and he's tired of being shot out by catapults, and he's only got 2. Is he down to 2? He's down to 2 wounds now, because I think I must have got Divine Judgment off on him. And so he knows that if he charges his big block in, yeah, they'll kill the Sphinx, and that's all the points. But his figure in here was that he can always usually generally get 1 wound back from the attribute of white magic, and the Sphinx isn't that. He's still going to have like a good 3-up armor save against, 4-up armor save against stuff, and then a 5-up ward. So he should grind that out, especially with the flank and the charge and everything like that. It's a decent move. It means he frees up his big block. Slightly risky on 2 wounds, but back to 3 wounds if he can get the spells off. It's not so risky, and he's better in combat. So magic, I don't think I managed to stop all the spells that would heal him, and then because that Sphinx has still got the extra attack on, I just managed to do the wounds. I think the Sphinx itself has 5 wounds. I think he rolls a poison and then rolls a wound as well. And then the team guard put 2 wounds through, and then he just rolls really badly for armor saves. He doesn't do a single armor save, and I think he might do 1 ward save. He does 2 wounds before he dies, but yeah, we just pop him off, so that's good for me, because it obviously frees me up to make charges on my turn. And obviously I've killed his Avatar of Nature with some big swing and points. So this is my turn 5, and this is what it looks like at the start. So I charge those sentinels, and they fail the terror and flee off the board, which is good. Leadership 8 happens, without the leadership 9 bubble. I tried to redirect into drives, but it doesn't work. Over here, I have to pop my wizard out, as you can see, and then do some funny reforming just to try and block those Tree King from getting into my smaller archer bunker, like so. And then my other Sphinx is just turning. He's so slow now that he's just trying to get into those dryads. Cataphracts aren't really going to do anything because they're in water, so they can't march out. So I for some reason I turned them around to move them away from those archers, but I would have been better just trying to threaten them, because even if one gets in, he'll probably kill quite a few. So that's it to report from my turn. Wasn't much else to do really. His turn, he charges his big Treekin in, and he charges in his Kestrel Knight. So it's about mopping up for him now. So he's definitely won the game, but it's just trying to mitigate the damage now and try to get a few more points. As you can see, he's moved his Dryades back. He was really tempted to throw them into that Sphinx, but I was just like, no, it's not worth it. Especially since I've still got a breath weapon. Yeah, so in my turn, there's not much to do. Just move some stuff around out of sight and stuff like that. Try and get some Divine Judgments off, or a Fireball or something like that, but not really much. I managed to kill the Sentinels here with a Fireball or Divine Judgment, so that's a nice 100 points. Predictably in combat, those Kestrel Knights are just going for everything, and now we've got a charge on his turn into my Hierophant. I do actually manage to kill one of these though with a Divine Judgment, I think, so take my moral victory there. And I believe this is his last turn, so his big block charges at that small bunker, and then he goes for my Hierophant as well. So easily smashes those. And then gets him there, like so. And predictably kills the Hierophant. So I take my crumble checks, but nothing disappears, so that's good. And that brings us to the end of the game. So it ends a solid victory for Sylvan Elves. I believe it's 15-5, 16-4, something like that. We didn't play secondary objective anyway, so most it could be with 17-3, but that's not important. So obviously pinpoint 2 big mistakes in this game. The first, allowing the Kestrel Knights to play so aggressively, which means I had to play defensively, and then when that happens, you're being asked questions rather than asking questions of your opponent. So silly. That comes to the deployment thing. The second one was obviously the choice of the general. So either I go, okay, if he doesn't make it, what's the worst thing that can happen and what's the best way to mitigate that, or this is too much of a risk, I'll just do something else. I mean, it's a 9 and Swift Stride, so the averages are with you, he says, because we all know when we try and play the averages it never works out. But if I'd got into those Dryads and into the Kestrel Knights, and then there would be no need to move the chariots up, or if I'd failed the charge, then I could just move the chariots up to chaff, because even without the movement spell I might have been able to do it, so especially with free reform on them, so I could have finagled it. But again, that comes down to not fully thinking out the situation, getting a bit too much, and also underestimating the power of 27 strength 5 AP 1 attacks, which if you're underestimating that, you are a fool. Just like me. In terms of the list, I'm happy with the list. 2 changes that I love the Stalkers. In fact, if I had more of the models, I would drop 3 of the Cataphracts to probably include more Stalkers, because I think they're incredible. I mean, Cataphracts are good, but those Stalkers they're just so good. I mean, what this list struggles with is not anything with elite infantry will be eaten, because double Sphinx will just eat them. It's monstrous infantry. Because generally monsters, I've got enough to combat that, and I've got enough things that can pop up. If people have got gun lines or a lot of war machines. So, because the other thing I could do is first thing I would do is, maybe, is change the Tomb King to a no mark. Because leadership 10 isn't really that useful. 4 strength 7 attack divine attacks is useful though. So you want him to be killy enough that if anyone's got a killy general as well, that you can have that fight. But as you saw, the Avatar of Nature, I don't know which way that would have gone. Hopefully my way, but you never know, do you? So that's the other thing. The other thing is splitting up the 6 chariots into 3, because 6 chariots are just useless. You have to get your matchups very correct with them, and with movement 8 on such a big footprint, they're not going anywhere fast. So it's better to have 3 with light troops and just use them to clear chaff or clear smaller units. And with the light troops, they've actually got a smaller footprint that is going to make a difference. Or you could just keep them without and just use them as scoring units as well. So might give you quite a few scoring units. So I'll probably change the chariots for the next game. I've got an Orcs and Goblins game coming up this week. Hasn't been as many games lately just because life has been very busy. But yeah, so we'll see how that goes, and I might drop the guy down to. But the thing is because there's not enough hitty things in this list. Having something that people go, Tomb King, and also if people get into the bunker and kill the Hierophant, a big 18-inch bubble leadership 10 is, you're not going to worry about crumble at all. So that's the other bonuses of having it. But yeah, great game. As I always say, my opponent's fantastic. If you watch my other battle reports with his Sylvan Elves, he's very adept at this army. So yeah, that's the game. And then very quickly, so there's going to be a Ninth Age Masters tournament, and it's going to be awesome. And I know a lot of you might switch off straight away and go, Ninth Age Masters, this is for all the really good players and the people who can play the game and write the best lists and all this. And that's not what it is. This is open to everyone. This is open to the people who like to play really competitively and the people who like to play just in the garages or whatever. It's fully inclusive of everyone. So just because it's a tournament doesn't mean it's for hardcore competitive tournament players. That's not what it is. And basically it's running 2 events. It's going to run a singles and it's going to run a team event. So if you're not confident with playing in tournaments, or you haven't played in tournaments before and you feel a bit apprehensive about it, you can bring a team. And if you don't have a team, they're going to do a lost soul system, so you'll be able to be paired with other lost souls and you'll be able to have a team if you feel that's pressured. But you really shouldn't be pressured. I mean, I haven't been to that many tournaments, but every tournament I've been to, I've great fun. But the great experiences, just purely you meet fantastic people, and then 2, you just have, people think it's this really competitive environment. It's not. We all have fun. We all laugh at the bad dice rolls. We laugh at the good dice rolls. It's not as wildly competitive some people make out, or sometimes the forums make out, which they can do because everyone's so geared up to building the best list and stuff like that. But in real life, it's not like that at all. So I would thoroughly recommend it. It's going to be in Hereford, Germany, and it's from the 11th to the 13th of November 2016. I'm going to include the links to it in the bottom, but I think they're planning on having 200 people, and it's going to be great. I'm going to see if I can go, 1, because I've always wanted to go to Germany, and 2, it's a tournament in Germany, so it could be better. And it'd just be great to meet all the people from community. I think a lot of people who are, contributed so much to the creation of this game will be there, and if nothing else, it'd just be nice to see those people and thank them and say thank you for keeping this system alive, which I enjoy it. I love this system. It's so much better than other systems out there, we'll say. But yeah, so that's just for anyone who doesn't know about it, who's not on the Knife Age forum. Go visit the Knife Age forum. I'll post the link down. If you haven't got an account, get an account, because there's also the Knife Age forum is great for tactics, for playing ideas off everyone. Unless you're some of the racists who like to cry and just cry about how bad their army is. But then again, it's fun to watch people have meltdowns over it. Because I'm sure if you actually talk to people in real life, it wouldn't actually be like that. It's easier to vent your frustration on the internet. But anyway, so yeah, that's my promo. sign up for it. It's going to be absolutely excellent. And if I'm there, hopefully see a lot of you there. But it's great. So that's it. See you for the next one. Okay. Cheers. Bye.